Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another presidential election prediction. It's been about a month since I have made a general election prediction, and now I'll be making another one. Of course, it will be between the presumptive nominee for president on the Democrat side, Joe Biden, the current president, and the presumptive nominee on the Republican side, Donald Trump, the former president, who is running for the second man in history to run for a non-consecutive term as president. And then Biden, of course, running for re-election. At the moment, Donald Trump is leading nationally in the polls. If we go over to the RCP aggregate spread, if you're looking at that right now, what you can see right now is this is the most recent poll of Trump up 6. The aggregate shows Donald Trump leading by 2 points against Joe Biden on the national popular vote, which is unprecedented historically. When you look at this, where it says this day in history, February 26, 2020, Joe Biden led by 4.3% against Donald Trump. February 26, 2016, 8 years ago, Hillary Clinton led 2.8 points against Donald Trump. Donald Trump against Hillary Clinton won the election, even when he lost the popular vote. And right now, Donald Trump is likely to win the popular vote in 2024 if these polls are accurate. So far, historically, in the primary elections at least, the polling data has been relatively accurate. Let's, for example, look at the South Carolina primary polls within the margin of error. They had Trump winning by 23.3 points. He ended up winning by 20.3. That's within 3 points. That's relatively accurate polling. In Iowa, Trump won within that margin of error by about 4 points. New Hampshire, I believe that was also relatively accurate. So far, the polls have proven to be more accurate historically than in 2020 and 2016 especially. With that being said, let's get into our safe Biden states. At the moment, there of course still will be a significant number of safe Joe Biden states. However, it will be less than what is usually expected, I guess, because you would include a state like Colorado, possibly. Maine's first congressional district is safe, and I'm going to put New York as a safe Biden state. However, I think it is important to mention that New York is significantly closer this election cycle, it seems, than previous cycles. Right now, in the polling data, Joe Biden leads Trump anywhere from 10 to 15 points. I think he'll end up winning by about that margin. But historically, Biden beat Trump by about 20 points, and Clinton beat Trump by about 25 points. When you look back in 2022, you saw that Kathy Hochul for New York, for the state of New York, only narrowly defeated Lee Zeldin by about 5 points. So with that being said, it shows that New York is malleable, and it is possible for New York to get into a likely scenario. However, at this point in time, I still will leave it there as we don't have enough data, in my mind, from the state of New York. Also, the special election, the Democrat outperformed the Republican. Now that was also that also had its own things to say about that. It was a poor candidate. Trump wasn't even endorsing that person, I believe. They didn't support Trump. Um, it was George Santos was being ousted. Historically, when somebody's ousted, the special election in that district goes to the person of the other party, unless if it's in a solid district. This is a swing district. So a lot being said, but the polls did overestimate Republican support there. Heading into our safe Republican states, it's going to be the usuals, except for Nebraska second, as usual. That in 2020, Biden won that by about 7 points. In 2016, Trump won it by about 3 points. It's a very suburban area in Nebraska, and therefore it goes either way. I'm going to give Donald Trump the state of Iowa by a safe margin, as well as the state of Ohio, as well as Maine's second congressional district. We saw a poll out today by Pan Atlantic, relatively accurate pollster in Maine, that had Donald Trump up 20 points in Maine's second congressional district. It had Donald Trump up 6 points in Maine's at-large district. In 2020, this poll had Joe Biden winning by 10 points in the at-large district. Biden ended up winning by about 8 points. It overestimated Joe Biden's chances and underestimated Trump. So if this time it has Trump up 6, who knows, what it's looking like actually. And then Maine's first congressional is significantly closer than previous elections. Second congressional district, not even competitive. People said that this was competitive back in 2016, even 2020. Trump won them both times by about 10 points. And now it seems as if his support has doubled in the second congressional district, which, if true, would be very damning for Joe Biden and the Democrats. And anyway, let's get into our likely Biden states. There's going to be only two likely Biden states. That's going to be the state of Colorado and the state of New Hampshire. But Joe Biden is popular in the Northeast. Um, Donald, there's a lot of people in New Hampshire, a lot of Republicans in New Hampshire, as you saw from the primary results, that are not as fond of Donald Trump as they are nationally. And for that reason, I do think that they won't turn out in the numbers that we expect, or the numbers that we expect nationally in other areas for Donald Trump. And Colorado is a state that is shifting to the Democrats, shifting to Joe Biden. And I still believe that that will be a likely state. Not a safe state, but a very likely state. Likely Donald Trump states. This will be the state of Texas. This will be the state of Florida. I am now also going to characterize the state of North Carolina as a likely Trump state. Polling shows, uh, you know, time and time again that every single poll seemingly has Donald Trump up about 10 points in the state of North Carolina. If I'm able to try and find it quickly on this, I will show you. Here we go. Well, here we go, actually. Hill Emerson. Actually, well, I'm going to change that. I thought that it was up about 10 points. We'll move that to the lean category. If you go back a little bit, it was a lot, but those were actually only Bloomberg polls, so I mistaked myself. Fox has him up 5, Trump up 3. Still Donald Trump performing very well in North Carolina, a little bit worse than what I said he was doing. But nonetheless, that's a lean. Actually, that is, I'm trying to remember. Likely is anything above 5 points. That is still a likely victory for Donald Trump because I do believe he'll win North Carolina by over 5 points. Anyway, sorry about that confusion. Headed into our lean Joe Biden states. I'm going to give Joe Biden the state of New Mexico by a lean margin, as well as the state of Virginia by a lean margin at this point. I believe Virginia will narrow up with Glenn Youngkin's victory in Virginia. It shows that it is changeable. It shows that it's possible for a Republican to win there. Now, I don't know how well Trump will do with suburban women, but I do think he will be relatively successful in Virginia to narrow that gap. Still, Joe Biden will win. Anyway, the state of Georgia will go for Donald Trump by a lean margin. Arizona and Nevada, all for Donald Trump, as well as the state of Michigan, giving Donald Trump the presidency. Donald Trump will win the presidency in my election prediction as of now. I think that Donald Trump will win the state of Michigan by a lean margin, as well as the state of Wisconsin by a lean margin, getting him to 293 confirmed electoral votes. I also believe that based off the recent polling data, he will win Maine's at-large district by a lean margin, getting him to 295 electoral votes. Heading into our final 3 states to call, I think that Joe Biden will tilt Nebraska's 2nd congressional district. Actually, Donald Trump will win Nebraska's 2nd congressional district by a tilt margin. Joe Biden will win Minnesota by a tilt margin, and Donald Trump will win Pennsylvania by a tilt margin, getting into 315 electoral votes, gaining on his lead from 2000 or his victory from 2016 by 9 electoral votes previously, 306 this time around, 315. Donald Trump picks up in Nevada and in Maine's at-large district, and from 2020 he picks up many other states, including Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, Arizona, and Nebraska's 2nd congressional district. So there you have it. That is my election prediction for 2024 as of February 26th, 2024. So we are now about 8 months away from this election. Let me know your thoughts on this election prediction in the comments below. What would you keep the same? What would you change? Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for more videos and make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Have a great day.